Hi there. Are you ready for a challenge? First of all, I'd like to go over why we do challenges. First of all, sometimes when you do a challenge, you're learning something new. You're able to learn a new skill, play with colors, play with things that you don't necessarily ordinarily do. So that stretches you a little bit. It stretches your imagination, it stretches your skill levels, and sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone. We tend to find things that we like to do, that we're comfortable doing, and stick with it. And that's not always the best thing, because there's so many things that you haven't learned how to do yet that you don't know. And trying to find out some of those things is really, really good for us. So we want to learn a new skill. We want to broaden our horizons, get out of our comfort zone. And finally, and most important, it's fun. It's fun to be doing something with the rest of your group, to understand what their point of view is, to see how their imagination works, to get ideas from them, to get them to teach you something you didn't know. And it's a lot of fun to see what everybody comes up with. So let's present the challenge for 2024. This challenge will begin at the June meeting. That's the third Thursday in June, and will continue until the December meeting. Now, in December, you'll be able to present your quilts or whatever you made to the rest of the guild. Now, the title of this challenge is Use It Up, Wear It Out, Make Do or Do Without. And this is the way our ancestors approached a lot of their sewing projects. They wanted to repair, replace, augment, use up every little scrap that they had, because textiles were hard to come by and very expensive. So with that in mind, what we want to do is make a quilt, a wall hanging, a miniature, a quilted piece of any size, your choice, from salvaged and recycled fabric in the majority of the work. Think in terms of upcycling textiles that might disintegrate in a box or end up in a landfill. Textiles are way too valuable even now to let them disintegrate into nothing. So some possible fabrics that you could use to inspire you, and certainly not all of the possibilities, are thrift store finds. If you walk through a thrift store like the Goodwill, the Salvation Army, Savers, and look at what's there, there's a lot of clothes. There's a lot of curtains and other textiles that might be inspiring, that might be able to be reused. Look for the textiles in your Goodwill bag, and I know you have one, everybody does, that bag that's sitting somewhere where you put all the things that you don't want anymore. Maybe there's something in there that could inspire you. Your grandmother's linens and doilies. You know how houses were covered with doilies and antimacassars and dresser scarves and all sorts of things that were beautiful embroidery or crochet or whatever. And I'm sure a lot of you have those just in a box somewhere waiting to get a new life. And that's what we can do for them, is give them a new life. Hankies, old handkerchiefs. No, I doubt if any of us use hankies anymore, but if you have some old ones that belong to somebody, your mother, your grandmother, an aunt, whatever, there's fun things you can do with the hankies too. Old t-shirts. A t-shirt quilt is essentially a recycled quilt. And I'm sure there are many creative things you could do with that. Outgrown children's clothes, blue jeans. And I'm sure there are 1,000 things that I haven't thought of to mention, but any kind of unconventional material might be interesting. Doesn't have to be a real textile necessarily. It could be hardware, could be, I don't know. You think about it. And some techniques you can think about, and these are just a few of the possibilities because there's tons of things that you can do. Piecing traditional and non-traditional blocks, weaving. Perhaps you can take some of these fabrics that you have, these textiles, and weave them together. That could be interesting. Including garment features like pockets and buttons and seams and cuffs and collars and whatever inspires you to add to your piece. Unconventional construction. That's making something in a non-traditional way, not necessarily sewing or sewing in a different way. You think of it, but your choices are what's going to be fun. And your choice is what you actually make. The size of the piece, its purpose, you choose. Do you want to make a Christmas ornament? Or do you want to make a miniature? Do you want to make wearable art? There's so many different things you can do. And there's tons and tons of possibilities. Just use your imagination, let the textiles speak to you, and let's see what we can do. You begin whenever you're ready. Projects are due at the December meeting. If you have any questions or you need a little more inspiration, you can contact me at blerner628@yahoo.com. And my phone number and other things are in the directory. I'm going to publish this on YouTube at the same time as it's presented at the Quilt Guild, so that if you need to see it again, you can. And I'm going to include some inspirational pictures that I found various places at the end of this video. So, have fun. It can be a tremendous amount of fun. So use your imagination and let it fly. See you in December.